green jungle, evening was falling fast. Clouds were heavy with the last cries of the storm. The river roared like a wild animal, swollen and angry, dragging branches, logs, and everything it found in its way. In the middle of this brown flood, a small baby gorilla fought for life. Its tiny arms held onto a slippery stone. Its wide eyes showed nothing but fear. The water pushed, twisted, and pulled, and at any moment, he could be lost. On the banks of the river, his family screamed and cried. The great silverback pounded his chest again and again, like a drum of pain. The mother stretched her arms forward, making sounds that were more prayer than call. The whole family begged for help, helpless to save their little one. But far down the riverbank, another pair of eyes had seen what was happening. An adventurer was there, a man who walked these mountains often. At his side was his loyal dog, a soft golden-brown creature that never left him. The man did not see animals the way many do. He saw souls, gentle and alive, each demanding care. So when he saw the child gorilla clinging to life against the roaring current, he did not think twice. He ran forward. He grabbed a long branch and stretched it out. His boots sank into the wet mud. His arm shook as he tried to reach the little one. For a moment, the branch brushed close, but the flood ripped it from his grip. Gone in a blink. The small gorilla coughed, swallowed water, and slipped lower down the stone. The man cried out in helpless despair. His heart screamed to save the baby, but his mind knew the truth. If he threw himself into that raging water, he would vanish too. And just then, when the man thought he was out of choices, the dog moved. That honey-colored friend stepped forward. His fur was wet from the storm, and his eyes glanced at his master, then at the gorilla, then at the water. He needed no order, no word. He understood. He belonged to the moment. Before the man could stop him, the dog rushed down the mud, leapt from the lower bank, and disappeared into the terrible water. The man's blood froze. His chest stopped breathing. The river had swallowed his truest friend. 1 second, 2 seconds, nothing. Then, miracle. The dog burst up from the surface, coughing, eyes fierce. He swam not against the current, but across it. A clever choice beyond instinct. He cut diagonally, fighting the brown flood with everything in his body. The man ran alongside, stumbling, falling, rising, his voice carrying over the water. "Come on! Come on!" he cried again and again, not to call the dog back, but as a lifeline. His words were threads thrown into the storm. The gorilla family had fallen silent. Not a cry, not a roar. Only the sound of the raging river filled the air. All their hope now rested on a creature they had never known before. The baby gorilla slipped once more, his fingers trembling, his small body shaking. His mouth opened, but no sound came. He fell, clutched the stone, and slipped again. The dog reached him at that very instant. The little gorilla stretched out his wet hand. His fingers brushed the dog's wet fur. He lost hold, and then the dog turned his whole body, offering his back like a raft. The baby tried one last time. His tiny hand dug into the dog's soaked fur. He clung tight. And now the river was no longer carrying only a dog. It was carrying 2 children of the earth, united in a fight against death. The silverback stopped pounding his chest. His eyes locked on the golden figure in the water. It was not hatred now. It was something deeper, something mighty. The river would not give up. A massive log came down, hid the dog from sight, struck his side, nearly tossing the baby off. The man almost jumped into the water, but it was too late. Only strength and faith remained. The dog coughed, gasped, but stayed true. His muscles were trembling in fire, yet he pushed on. Near the far bank, the adventurer saw roots dipping into the water, thick, twisted, like a ladder to safety. He stepped forward into the freezing current up to his waist. His arms reached out. "Here! Here!" he shouted. The dog swam harder. Each claw, each kick pulled him closer. The baby still hung on, eyes barely open, but refusing to let go. With one last push, the man grabbed the infant in both arms and pulled him up from the water. The gorilla collapsed into his chest, small, weak, alive. The dog, freed of the weight, collapsed onto the roots. His chest heaved like broken bellows. His head dropped to the side. He had nothing left, except peace. On the far shore, the gorilla mother screamed. She tore forward when the man placed her baby in the grass. She scooped the child up in her arms like a treasure lost and found again, cradling him, rocking him. Tears poured from her dark eyes. The small gorilla whimpered, coughed, and then nestled against her chest. The jungle shook with the cries of relief from his family. And then came the most unforgettable moment. The giant silverback stepped forward, his muscles like stone. The man froze. But then, one sound, one gesture, a slow, deep beat on his chest. Not rage, not thunder, respect. A single sound that said, "We know what you did. We honor you for it." It was over in a minute. One by one, the gorillas vanished into the thick jungle mist. The mother carried her precious child close. The others followed behind. The silverback was the last to go, and just before he vanished, he threw his head back and gave one final call. A sound of farewell, a sound of thanks, and then came quiet. The river still moved, but no longer angry. The storm began to fade. The clouds broke and beams of golden sunlight poured down, lighting up the mud, the roots, the water. It was as if the whole earth wished to write this memory in light. The adventurer knelt down beside his tired friend. He touched the wet golden fur and whispered in a broken voice, "You're a hero." The dog closed his eyes, breathing slow, finally resting in safety. For long minutes, the man sat with his companion. He looked out at the far tree line where the gorillas had gone, and he thought of something larger than himself. This was not only rescue. This was not only bravery. This was a bond, the kind of trust and love that sometimes shows itself only once in a lifetime. The river would never forget. The jungle would never forget. Neither would he. Days may pass, storms may come and go, but the echo of that moment, the memory of a weak baby saved, of a dog's faithful heart, of a gorilla's deep respect, will live forever. And so they walked together, man and dog, leaving behind them a river that now bore witness to a miracle. Dear friend, thank you for taking the time to follow the story. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel to support us.